Imagine a place on Earth where no one can enter. A place so isolated that any attempt to approach is met with extreme hostility. An island surrounded by crystal clear waters, dense forests, and one of the greatest mysteries of modern humanity. This is the story of North Sentinel Island, considered by many to be the most forbidden island on the planet. Located in the Indian Ocean, the island is part of the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago, belonging to India. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary tropical paradise. But there is something that sets it apart from anywhere else in the world. It is inhabited by the Sentinelese, one of the last tribes completely isolated from modern civilization. Researchers believe that their ancestors have lived in that region for tens of thousands of years. Most impressively, they continue to live practically the same way as their ancestors, hunting, fishing, and gathering resources from nature without any significant influence from the outside world. Very little is known about their culture, customs, or even their language. No researcher has managed to establish lasting communication with them. Throughout the centuries, several attempts at contact have been made. Explorers, anthropologists, and authorities have tried to approach the island to study its inhabitants. However, almost all attempts ended the same way. Visitors were met with arrows and spears. The Sentinelese clearly demonstrate that they do not desire contact with the outside world. This resistance is not accidental. Throughout history, several isolated indigenous populations have suffered devastating consequences after contact with foreigners. Diseases common to the rest of humanity, such as influenza and measles, can be fatal to peoples who have never developed immunity against these viruses. For this reason, many experts believe that maintaining the isolation of the Sentinelese is the best way to protect their survival. Even so, some people have continued trying to reach the island. In 2018, the world turned its eyes to North Sentinel Island after an episode that made international headlines. An American missionary named John Allen Chow decided to travel to the island with the goal of establishing contact and sharing his religious beliefs. Ignoring warnings from authorities and laws prohibiting approach, he hired fishermen to take him to the vicinity of the island. Initially, he tried to communicate with the inhabitants from a distance. However, the Sentinelese again demonstrated that they did not want visitors. Still, he persisted and returned to the beach. That was the last time he was seen alive. The case drew worldwide attention and reignited the debate about the limits between exploration, curiosity, and respect for isolated cultures. Following this episode, Indian authorities further reinforced access restrictions to the region. Today, there is an exclusion zone around the island. Boats are prohibited from approaching, and any attempt at contact is considered illegal. But the mystery remains. How many people live on the island? What is their language? What are their traditions? How do they see the world around them? No one knows for sure. In an era dominated by satellites, the internet, and instant communication, North Sentinel Island remains one of the few places on the planet where the modern world simply hasn't entered. While most of humanity is connected by digital networks, the Sentinelese continue to live by their own rules, preserving a way of life that has survived for thousands of years. And perhaps it is precisely this mystery that makes North Sentinel Island one of the most fascinating and forbidden places on Earth.